All right, we're going to try this again. We don't know what happened. I'm waiting for Dave to jump on. We're going to see if we can connect with the Monster Motivator himself, Mr. Dave Daley. So, hang tight. Do what you do. I should be with you guys momentarily. I hope that I didn't lose too many of you. Just waiting for Dave. Okay, there's Chris. Welcome, brother. Who do we have? I'm going to invite some friends. I'm going to invite Dave. I'm going to invite Mark, Ahmed, Chris, Mercy, Jared, Colby. Just inviting people because I'm reckless like that. Here we go. All right. Boom, 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 boom. So, still no Dave. Austin asked, did the video drop? I couldn't link up Dave. I couldn't get Dave connected. I'm supposed to be interviewing Dave, but I couldn't actually get him on the line. So that's what happened there. There's Dave. Here we go. Boom. Invite to broadcast. Go. Dave, are you with me? Hey, I don't know what you guys can see, but I can see Dave Daley's face up in here. What's happening, brother?
What's up, big man? How are you?
I'm killing it.
That's it, brother.
I'm killing it and crushing it. What about you, man?
Same thing. A lot of balls in the air, man. A lot of balls in the air.
Well, that's okay though. That's all right, man. As long as we're making it work for us.
Love it. Not sure.
So, all of you people who jumped back on, thank you so much. So appreciate it. Finally got Dave on the line. Elizabeth Perez Oliveri shared it because she's awesome. Now, let's get right to giving these folks some value instead of them seeing us man hug. Dave, you're speaking at my event, man, and I'm so excited. I really am. It's just, you were there. I talked to you at the very beginning of dreaming this thing up. And so you've seen that it's just kind of grown like crazy, right? The scope of it, what we're doing and everything. And about your role in it. And we may, because things, guys and girls listening, things have changed even since Dave and I spoke last. So if I accidentally say something that Dave isn't aware of, it's just, I'm not trying to put him on the spot or something. It's just, things have been moving fast with this event. This event for me has been an experience of really being like what you call in alignment, right? You know what I mean? Shit is just falling into place, man. We've got speakers, as you know, Dave, literally coming from all over the world. Like, it's crazy. So you're going to be talking about crushing your fear, right? Being able to do whatever you want in life without your own mind getting in the way.
Yeah, you know what I'm speaking on is my very favorite subject, man. Fearless is bullshit. And I say that with every fiber of my being. Because I believe that we were misled early on. You know, we were all brought up one way or the other to think that if you weren't fearless, you were never going to win.
Right.
And the real of that statement is it's inaccurate, it's misleading, and it becomes counterproductive and very destructive in people's world, including mine. I used to think there was something wrong with me because I felt fear.
Yes.
What I've come to realize over the years is fear is a real feeling, just like joy, just like anger, just like love. And my whole message is it's either going to be your heaviest anchor or your strongest propeller.
Yes.
You need to decide, because if it doesn't scare you and excite you at the same time, stop what you're doing. It's too small. It doesn't count.
Yeah.
Right? It didn't make it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So that's how I know I'm on the right track, because I get scared every day, man, thinking about this. This is huge. You're absolutely right, Dave. I mean, to try to I like what you said, man, to try to like think that you can cut out fear is like, I mean, what about that book, The Gift of Fear, right?
Yeah.
You know,
It's a gift.
Yeah, the basic premise is that fear is valuable. Fear has kept us alive. Fear has helped us to succeed as a species. You know, all of these important things. And so this sort of macho John Wayne no fear thing is really a misunderstanding of a very important driver.
No, it's bullshit.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
It's complete and utter bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's what people have to understand, that fear is the ultimate barometer in life. When you feel that fear, when you have those juices flowing, what's it going to be? What are you going to do? Life asks the questions, right? And we talked about this before, Manny. Life makes the rules. We don't.
Ooh.
Life goes, what are you made of? Right?
That's
How
right.
bad do you want it? Let's see what you're going to do to go get it, right?
That's right.
And part of that, part of my message is now to take that next step is you got to tie into that courageous part of you.
Yeah.
Because courage comes from that 3-letter word core, which means it comes from the inside. That means you're moving forward in the face of fear anyway. Right. That's why your why is vitally important when you feel that fear and when that scares the shit out of you.
Yeah.
And excites you at the same time.
So it's like, if you can transform fear from an anchor to a propeller, the why is your sail or your rudder, right?
All day long, man.
Yeah. And you're going to be breaking this down for us. Like, this is just a little peek under the kilt.
Well, you know what it is. Let's really let's keep it real.
Let's do that.
Fear barriers are the biggest bullies in life.
Yeah.
And all I want to do is teach you how to get your lunch money back from that fucking bully.
I love it, man. I love it. That is wicked bad. So it's a whole paradigm shift, though. It really is, right?
Yeah.
I know a little something about acting in the face of fear. I know you must. You do too. And I will tell you that there have been very few times in my life when I was put to it that I felt what you might call fearless. If anything, I've been in situations where I realized I had no choice but to be courageous, right? It was the only acceptable option. So what's the process then? Take someone who comes to you as your ideal client, right? The person that you were made to serve. They're going to be starting in fear, but they're going to have a sense that there's something else, right?
Well, there's a formula.
Okay.
And believe it or not, Manny, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I call it the bully buster.
All right.
So it's a 4-step formula. And what I tell people all the time is, listen, anything that I share, it's not mine. Anything in the personal development world, if anybody tells you they invented something new, run. Right. Don't look back. They're full of shit. This goes back to antiquity. I'm just sharing with you in my flavor what was taught to me and what I've used. So it's called the bully buster. So it's a 4-step process. The first step in this formula, this process, is identifying your goal, your destination. And I always say it has to have the dynamic duo.
Okay.
It has to scare you and excite you at the same time. If it doesn't, it's not big enough. Next step, identify that why. When your why becomes big enough, it's going to pull you through those fear barriers. But when your why becomes bigger than you, you literally become unstoppable. Third step, massive, effective action all day long. If you want the kryptonite to fear, it's action.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's fear's kryptonite, man, all day long. And the 4th step is, and I'm going to get into these deeper when we at the event. And the 4th step is what I call the game changer, baby. This is it. It's your self-talk. What are you telling yourself on a daily basis? Is it getting you closer or farther away, right? And when you can when you learn how to leverage positive, powerful self-talk on a daily basis, everything changes. Yeah. Now, here's the beauty of this. Now, after that 4th step, it leaves us with the reality. Your results, and the results don't lie. So if you're not happy with your results, go back to the top and reevaluate.
Nice. So break it down for me quickly. Highlight it for me, the 4 steps.
The dynamic duo. Does it scare you and excite at the same time? What's your destination? You got to go for something, right?
Right.
what's your why? You got to tie that why in. When that why becomes big enough, it's gonna pull you through. Third step, massive, effective action. Fourth step, the game changer. What are you telling yourself on a consistent basis? And that leaves you with the ultimate barometer in life.
Right.
Your reality.
Right.
Right?
So do most people get stuck on the why, or do most people get stuck on the self-talk?
They get stuck everywhere, dude.
Do they?
Well, a lot of them will get stuck on the first step because they're too afraid to go for something that scares them and excites them at the same time.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
And here's the other thing the first step does. It gives you something to actually shoot for. Right?
Right.
You're not that buoy in the ocean. You're not letting the tides take you where they want. You start to dictate your day. I always tell people, take the driver's seat back.
Yes.
You take the driver. This is your.
I don't want to drive. You drive.
I get a little passionate.
That's all right, man. Shit, look who you're talking to. All right, so on the why, because this is where I find people think they have their why. People get into the entrepreneurial world, and now the digital entrepreneurial world, which is bigger by a factor of 100, right? And you're bombarded with people who either have their why, or they think they have their why, or they're trying to sell you something by telling you what your why should be, right?
Yep.
How do we narrow that down for people?
Well, a few things is, number one, your why can change.
Sure.
Your why can morph. Your why can change, and you can have multiple whys.
Yeah.
But that's where personal development completely comes in, because the more that you get to know yourself, the higher you raise your level of awareness, the clearer your why becomes, right?
Yeah.
So this is, it's an interesting business, coaching, and I don't coach.
Right.
I speak, I have products, but I don't coach.
Right.
It's an interesting business because life coaching, business coaching is such a personal thing.
Yeah.
And your coach can't do it for you, isn't supposed to do it for you. They can guide you and suggest. But when someone says, you need to help me find my why, I need to help you find your level of awareness. You need to find out why. What gets your juices flowing? Because it might not get my juices flowing. Right? So again, it comes to understanding who you are, identifying what makes you tick, and then go from there.
Yeah. There's some interesting feedback that I'm getting here. One lady says because of mental abuse, she doesn't have a why and it got lost. How would you respond to that, Dave?
Well, first of all, change your self-talk.
Yeah.
You got to get out of that victim mode. Victims never win. So we all have past. Wear those scars with pride, right? Figure out what those gifts were and then move forward.
Yeah. So somebody else says, the why is very hard. People are not truthful with what they want.
Well, it sounds like he's speaking for other people. So there's really no advice to give there. Secondly, if he's not, then again, what happens? It goes to your self-talk. Your self-talk determines your destination. You become that self-talk.
Now that we've hit we've gone through the lobby, right? We've gone through the greeting desk. Now let's dive in, because for me, self-talk is the biggie.
Yeah.
Real quick though, Kenton McQuana shouts out, "Hey guys, what's up?" He says, "Dave, did we meet at Meltdown in the Desert?" I think you guys did.
Oh yeah, man. I met some awesome people, man. That thing was off the fucking hook.
Do you remember meeting Kenton McQuana, the English guy, the bald guy who spoke?
Yeah, and well, I know we met briefly, but yeah, there was just that, man, dude. You ready?
Yeah.
You ready?
Oh yeah.
August 10th, baby. Tom, the founder of Quest Bars, is going to be on Monster Motivator TV. We're going up to his place in Beverly Hills and rolling that out real raw and live. Wait till you hear this fucking story. It is.
Awesome. So Kenton, he says he doesn't know you, man. He says stop calling.
There you go. No, but I know I met a ton of people. I remember him. Matter of fact, we were sitting at the same table during one of the breaks, and he was talking to Neva, the 7-year-old little girl that's kick-ass entrepreneur, man.
So, I actually saw some of the feedback on her. She seems like an amazing, amazing little lady.
Oh, dude, you know when people talk about old souls?
Yeah, she's one, huh?
Oh my God. Oh my God. I feel 10 steps behind when I talk to her.
Yeah, right. So the self-talk, man. First of all, how does it get there? Let's start with that.
Well, let me share with people what's really took my self-talk to a whole nother level. Probably in the last 12 years, I was recommended a book called What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Dr. Shad Helmstetter.
Nice.
And Dr. Helmstetter breaks it exactly down. And self-talk and affirmations are very powerful only if you use them on a consistent basis. And a lot of times, I think you probably were taught this too, Manny. Back in the day, we were taught, write it down a certain way, put it in your pocket, and read it throughout the day, right? I mean,
Sure.
We've all heard that. That was like, well, Dr. Shad Helmstetter studied the subconscious, and he realized that we could take it to a whole nother level. And now this was back in the 80s. You ready? Now, check out this story. He wrote this book back in the 80s. Now, for people that don't remember, we had cassette recorders back then. So if we see
those of us who were alive back then, yeah.
God damn, I feel old. But what he did is one of the stories he shared hit home for me when I read this book. And I said, I have to learn more about this. So he wanted to lose 60 pounds in 90 days. He wrote down an affirmation. He listened to the affirmation every morning when him and his wife were getting ready for work. Somewhere during the day at his office, and every night before him and his wife went to bed, he put the cassette recorder on. 90 days hit. He hit that goal, 60 pounds. You ready? His wife never went on a diet and lost over 20 pounds. That's how powerful our subconscious is, right?
That's awesome.
So what he does is he breaks down how to actually construct them. So what I do is I write it down in the right verbiage for me, and I record it, and I listen to it on my phone when I'm working out throughout the day, and I even share it with people that are asking me, hey, how can I help you? I have an affirmation. Let me shoot out the affirmation. This is what I'm looking for. Help me in the universe, bring it to me, right? Because you own it, right? You start to own it. So I believe that self-talk is the epicenter.
I agree with you completely, man. One of the first profound, what I would call the sea changes that I had was becoming aware of because we all have it, right? It's just there. It's going on and on. It's just yammering at us, right? And you don't, it's so omnipresent, you don't even recognize it in a lot of cases. So I started to recognize it. And for me, first of all, shout outs, Bryce, Zeph Zan, Cammie, who else do we have here? Andre Kane, Rosanna Colquitt, Flynn, Kay Newman. Oh man, this is awesome. So, first of all was identifying it. And my self-talk reflected the limiting beliefs of my family, because they were the people with whom they were my five, right? My five people I spent the most time with. And so my self-talk was really weird, because I was born in a cult and we were hippies. We were totally countercultural. By the time I became aware of my self-talk, my whole family had become, while super liberal, at the same time, very conservative. Conservative in the sense that, hey, Jared, I know you're there. In the sense that they feared change, they feared risk, they feared action. You know what I mean? And as a result, I have 1, 2, 3 siblings and a mother who are all brilliant and not doing jack shit.
Yeah, they probably, the ultimate fear would be evolution.
Yeah. So realizing how much of what was going on in my head was really reflecting back what they were saying, right? So what I did was I started to, and I don't know where this insight came from, I started to say to myself, okay, hold on. This is the message I'm getting. Then I look at the rest of the world and I say, what's the message I'm getting here? And I realized there was a huge disconnect. So I said, what if I start to trust the message the rest of the world is sending? right? And that was sort of my access, right? That was how I got into the inner dialogue, the self-talk. And from there, a lot of mantra, a lot of repetition, a lot of just repeating what I wanted it to be.
Well, you know, and you just hit on the perfect point, Manny. Self-talk, belief, self-image is all conditioning, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so we weren't born with this conditioning, right? We were conditioned with this conditioning, right?
Yeah.
So the beautiful part about that is it can be changed.
Yep.
It can be absolutely changed. And here's the other thing. My opinion is too many people are focusing on changing their environment. Here's what I say, and I learned a while back. You know, Manny, some people in life, they get lessons and they kind of get smacked on the wrist or on the top of the hand. And then some need a cinder block dropped on their head. I don't know why, but I always get cinder block. But what I've found, what I realized in life, stop focusing on your environment, start focusing on you, and let the universe do the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
See, as you raise your vibration, they're going to come up with you or they're going to fall away. But here's the beautiful part. It's not your job.
Yeah,
See,
exactly.
I think if you stop focusing on your environment and let your environment just happen in accordance to who you are, that gives you the real barometer. That gives you your real results. So that means if you're constantly surrounded by losers, you better check here, right?
Yeah, that's
stop
right.
being a loser.
That's
because
right.
When you stop being a loser, whatever that definition is for you,
right,
they can't come around.
Right.
So,
you know, and you and I are both living proof of that, right?
Oh,
I mean, I got
knuckle that up, big dog.
Ooh.
Holy shit. That's been my MO.
I've got people now who have been in my life for decades who we are now like magnets turned the wrong way. You know what I mean? Yep. It's like we say hi on Facebook, we text each other, still somewhere in there's a lot of love, but it's just like not even speaking the same language anymore. You know, hey, what'd you do today? I worked 2 jobs, you know, and I made $300. What'd you do today? I wrote my book and money came through in my my account.
2 different stratospheres.
Yeah,
right?
two different realities.
And I think one of the things that happens too, Manny, is I think this is important to address. And I was one of those people, and I think we all were somewhere in our life. When you start to work on yourself, when you start to build your own level of awareness, the people that were your inner circle starts to not understand it. But what I think what happens is, again, life gives us the choice. Life says you can keep moving up or you can go back down. Either way, your results are going to tell you and your reality's going to give you that. But I think what happens is people feel guilty. And one of my first spiritual coaches told me this, and she goes, I'm going to take you off the hook. I go, what do you mean? She goes, it's not your job to determine whether they come up with you or not. It's only your job to determine whether you want to keep going or do you want to go back down. And I thought, God damn, man, that took me off the hook is right. Yeah. Now I'm good. Now I got to sleep like a baby.
Exactly, man. So Rosanna Colquitt Flynn says, and you're going to like this, time will either promote you or expose you.
100%. It's the ultimate equalizer. Yeah. Right?
It really is.
You're going to love this, Manny. I always say our 2 most powerful parents will always be honest with us. Mother Nature and Father Time, baby.
Oh, I love it. That's good, man. So, Dave, talk to us, them more than me, about the scope of your involvement in the event. We know you're speaking. Now, we know that you've got something in the prize queue, right?
Yeah, I mean, I know we have an ebook that we're going to give out. It's called the Monster Under the Bed.
Nice.
So I can give a little quick premise on that for people that don't know. So you're 10 years old. You're in your room. The lights are out. It's pitch dark, and you're under the covers, and you hear this sound, and you know for sure It's a big green hairy monster ready to come out and eat you, right? We've all been there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I was just there last week.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Some more recently than others.
Exactly. Until an adult comes in, turns on the lights, you look under the bed, and what is it? There's no monster. And it's the exact same thing that happens when we become adults. When we find ourselves in this uncharted territory, right? We create this big green hairy monster. And life says you could do one of two things. You could face that monster head on, break right through, not look back, hit that destination, or you let it bully you right back into safety and take your lunch money.
Yeah. I love it, man. Now, you and I had talked about the possibility of setting up a Monster Motivator TV marathon.
There you go.
While you were there, right? And that's going to happen?
Yeah, we definitely could do it, man. We could do it.
Think about that, you guys. Think about that. Tracy, Rosanna, Zeph. Who else we got? Bryce. I know you're going to be there, Bryce. Jared, Cammie. Just going back through the list here. Andre. Holy cow. Ketten, Kay, Rob. On and on it goes. Dave is going to be setting up and doing marathon interviews from Monster Motivator TV live. I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to schedule some time where I'm not emceeing and not schmoozing so that I can finally, once and for all, be on Dave's show. It's going to be insane, you guys. I want to tell you a little bit about the contest that we've got going that Dave just alluded to, what he's offering. So there are over, Dave, I don't know if you've seen this, there are almost $45,000 in prizes now.
Woo!
It's nuts, man. And so Jared is going to put a link in here. He's going to put a link in the chat so you guys can check out the contest. It's all about you help us promote it. You win massive prizes. I'm giving away three-month group coaching slots. Okay. That's a $9,000 value, man. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, there's so much that is busting out. Kay asks if I can send Veronica a link to get in. Let me just see if I can. I honestly don't know if I can. Let's see. How do I invite friends? Veronica, where are you, Veronica? Veronica. Boom. Okay. Just invited Veronica. I hope it works out. So everybody on this live stream, my request to you, please share this while it's live. Please share this if you're liking what we're talking about, and you must be, because you guys are blowing it up. I mean, you seriously are. This is good interaction, man. Send us the thumbs up to let us know you love us. That means so much to us. And then get involved in this contest. If you'd like to come to the 1000 Speakers Academy live in October, San Diego, California, the 5th through the 7th. The 5th through the 7th of October. This event is called 3 Days to Launch Your Speaking Career, and it's legit. I mean, we've got mindset from Dave. We've got delivery training, how to present from me and others. We've got how to network as a speaker. We've got how to leverage your courses as a speaker, how to build your profile, how to launch your podcast. There's so much. There's so much, right? If there's anything that you would need to create your career as a professional speaker that we forgot, I'm going to have it on the next one because I don't think there's anything. I really don't. I think we have covered everything. So just by attending for 3 days, you will get training. It's not pie in the sky abstractions. It's training. It's hands-on, boots on the ground training for how to go from where you are to being a professional, polished, paid speaker. I know you like that 3P articulation I just did there. Just made that up. Professional, polished, and paid.
That works.
It's going to be amazing. And you can probably, maybe, possibly be on the Monster Motivator show.
Absolutely, man. And you know, one of the things that goes hand in hand with that, because as you know, Manny, I like to take people behind that black curtain. Right?
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest fears that people have, right? Is what other people think. And they're running from their story. And I always say, your story's not about you. You were bad enough to make it through. Now it's your obligation to share that. So when you come on, we're gonna get that lunch money back.
Yeah. I love it, man. And you know, you're absolutely right. And you bring up a good point, whether on purpose or incidentally. This whole sort of event, the whole focus of it is for people who have been through hell and back, who have that hero's journey story, and maybe just don't know that you're coaching now. You've written a book, something like that. You want to get out there. You want to make more money, make an impact, and help people. Like that's the holy trinity, right there. Yeah. That's who we're doing this event for. It's for people who want to make more impact, more money, and leave a dent in the damn universe, like Colby K always says, right?
100%, man, 100%.
And so that's if that's you, this is for you. Check out the link for the contest, and Jared will also put a link for event information. Share. This is good stuff, says Rosanna. Couldn't agree with you more, Rosanna. This is good stuff. Share it. Now I feel like I can't even wind down because Frank Estrada just joined. You know what I mean?
we got the coach on.
Now I feel like we got to keep going.
And you know what, Manny? If while we're here, if anybody has any questions, man, throw it out there. Q&A is electric.
Oh, that's a great idea. One gal who I know who's working with me now, her name is Kay Newman. I think you should know her. Her goal is to end domestic violence. She's an awesome lady, and she's like us, man. She's got the hero's journey. Kay, do you have any questions for Dave? Does anyone out there have any questions for the Monster Motivator?
Yeah, me or Manny, absolutely, man. That's why we're here. We love it. This is our oxygen. This is our oxygen, man.
This is the jam right here. So, Frank, Kay, Tom, Bryce, Rosanna, Jared, did I say Jared already? Zeph, Jen, it goes on and on. Any questions? Oh, Frank says, what's your biggest challenge and how do you overcome it? I'm going to let you go first.
So right now, if we're talking about real time, right now I am ready to launch my own nutritional line of nutritional supplements. We'll have the testosterone booster in hand in a few weeks. And so right now I'm a big proponent, Manny, on when you build a business, reverse engineer. So I want to always identify my weaknesses so I can fill that void. So now I can double down, triple down, quadruple down on my strengths. So I'm looking now for that. I call it the perfect power partner. There's 3 P's, baby.
Alliteration again.
The perfect power partner. So my strength in business has always been the front end, the relationship building, the branding, the marketing, right, and all that. But I want to always cover myself on the back end. So I'm looking for that power partner that sees the vision of the brand. We connect instantly, but has the experience as a COO on the back end. Okay. So now we can scale this. All 3 divisions of my company. So the personal development end with the speaking gigs, the live events, the books, the programs, the MM nutrition and apparel, right? And then the granddaddy, the foundation, Monster Motivator TV. We want to take this nationwide, man, on a tour bus. Monster Motivator Mania Tour coming to a town near you.
I love it. I love it. So Rosanna asks, what advice would you give your younger self? Quickly, I'm going to answer that. Then I want to hear what you have to say. Rosanna, it's advice that I have followed. It is simple. My life really was a war zone for a long time. It's not really an exaggeration to say that. And so just keep getting up one more time than you fall. Yeah. I mean, when all the high-minded spirituality and all the self-help stuff was too sort of esoteric, that one simple strategy was the bridge, right? In those times of darkness, man, it's like, just don't quit. I'm living proof that things don't just get better. Things can change completely, where you don't, the young you wouldn't even recognize the current you. You know, your whole life can change. So just keep getting up one more time than you fall. What about
Love
you, Dave?
it. I would say this, man. I would use myself as an example. If I could change anything, Manny, it would be that I found my oxygen way early on. So when I see a guy like Rob Dyrdek, right, that knew that he was going to be a pro skateboarder, and what he's done now with his whole brand and his business, I'm so in awe of. See, it took me so long to figure out what my oxygen was.
Yeah.
So my take on that question is, for you, and if you're a parent or a grandparent and you're raising kids, figure out what their DNA is. Figure out what their oxygen is. I just heard this story, and I'm going to jack it all up because that's what I do, right? I heard bits and pieces of it, but it's like the bunny rabbit, right?
Yeah.
Is in class, is in school, and they're trying to figure out why that bunny rabbit is so good at hopping, right? But is horrible at swimming.
Right.
The teacher and the parents of this bunny rabbit keep focusing on, you got to become a better swimmer. And they keep throwing this bunny rabbit in the pool, and it just can't swim to save its life. They keep pulling it out, but man, it can hop like a son of a bitch. But they keep focusing on why it can't swim, right? Focus on that popping. Get that bunny to be the best hopper in the goddamn world. That's if I could change anything, man, and went back in time, that's what I would do. So hopefully that helped.
That's awesome, man. So Chanteau Wilson, you were invited to this live, even if you didn't get a direct invite from me. So don't be saying you weren't invited. We're glad to see you here. Her question is, what advice would you give someone who is starting out, but who is not as prolific as the pros? Now, that's a damn good question, man. You want to take that one, Dave?
Yeah, dude, fuck the prolific. Keep it fucking real, man. Look, this is the time we live in, right?
Yeah.
Listen, Manny, you can speak on this better than anybody in the fucking world. You ready?
Yeah.
Gary V changed the fucking game. The man gets $100,000 a gig, and he walks up there with his fucking jeans rolled up, with his fucking his fucking skateboard sneakers, and a fucking hoodie. And he speaks, and he's running $100 million operation. Yeah. But he's fucking real. Forget all that, right? What is that self-talk they're telling themselves? I'm not prolific enough. I don't even know what the fuck that means. Right? Who cares? Be you. Find out who you are and bring it. Right? Yeah. That's my answer to that. Fuck the prolific.
Yeah. So, Chanteau, what I would say to that is this. You got to start somewhere, right? If you're starting out, first of all, Dave is absolutely right. Don't even compare yourself to those people. What you want as an entrepreneur, especially in this space, is you want single-minded laser focus on figuring out who you are, what your message is, how you got there, and who you serve. Who you are, what your message is, how you got there, and who you serve. Those four things will make what amounts to an arrow tip for you, right? You understand what I'm saying? And that's what you want. You want to just focus on that. If you look to the left or to the right, you're going to see Gary Vee. You're going to see, who else? Tony Robbins. You're going to see these people, and it's very natural to compare yourself unfavorably to those titans. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I want to address something here, man.
Yeah.
I see a comment that Jen put on there about the F word. And, I just put a post and I saw some really interesting comments. Look, here's the deal, man. If you use any of those words in your real life, but you don't do it on your platform, shame on you, right? and here's the other thing, right? The biggest fear that people have is what other people think. If you live your life with intention and you use a word or a sentence that offends somebody, and that's on them. But if your intention is to give back in a real way, you're bulletproof.
Yeah.
If the F word offends you that bad, you got to figure out why that is. That's not our problem.
So, let me find her again. Chanteau, I hope that helps you. If you keep drilling down on who you are, who you serve, how you got here, and what your message is, you will become as prolific as the pros. Unless you literally mean prolific in the sense of like how frequently do you post and how frequently do you push yourself out there? There's a lot of answers to that. You don't have to do it the way anyone else does it. But there's also, it's a good rule of thumb to, if you're building up your brand and your image and yourself and getting people to know you, finding your tribe, it is a good idea to get your ego out of the game and get involved as many times as you can a day. Post a lot, get active, get in groups, mix it up, that kind of stuff.
So Rosina, that's my girl. Check out what she wrote. I can't believe she remembered that. I use that. That's my. I love it. I love it. That's my girl, man. That's my sister from another fucking mister.
That's good. That's good
it.
right there. I'm switching to coffee.
I love it.
Any other questions? You guys are killing it. This is the best audience, man. Dave, we are so lucky.
Manny, I would love for you to expand more on the times as a speaking coach, right? On the times we live in. It's unprecedented how the opportunity we have to build a brand on our terms and our flavor 1,000%, man. I'd love to. I think. Oh man, I would love to hear you speak on that, man, because it's gold.
So here we go. The main thing that I would teach first, especially to somebody just starting out, is forget about authenticity.
Okay.
Drop it like it's Gary Vee who's come out of the screen and he's now chewing on your ankle for some reason. Get rid of it. like it's Grant Cardone chasing you down for the $2 you owe him. Get rid of it, okay? And here's why. Authenticity easily becomes a trap where if you get enough people agreeing with who you act like you are, or even who you really are in that moment, it can stop you from pushing yourself to develop. So instead, here's what I say. I say, go for self-awareness, as we talked about earlier, Dave, is like the foundation. Self-awareness means an ongoing exploration of yourself, not a one-shot, one-kill deal, right? Ongoing exploration of yourself. Then you're going to find parts of yourself that you're maybe not so comfortable with. That's where you got to be courageous. Now we've got self-aware and courageous. These are huge, right? And then the third piece is this. The third piece is vulnerable. You want to build a tribe, you're going to build them in this day and age by showing your real self. But a lot of us aren't clear on who our real selves are. I wasn't even clear on it, and I am like, man, I've done the self-help gauntlet. I've done the personal transformation triathlon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so who you are, this is what's important about that. It's an evolving piece. And so if you substitute authenticity for self-aware, courageous, and vulnerable, you'll be able to take people on a journey with you as you evolve.
The authenticity will follow. That's going to be a byproduct.
That's precisely right.
Right? The authenticity is going to be, it's going to follow that moving target, right?
That's right.
That evolution.
That's
right.
I
love that perspective. Man, I'm glad I asked that question. I love that perspective.
That's good, Dave. And in fact, Chris Ripka is on here. He went through my course, and I told him, I said, authenticity is a byproduct, exactly like you just said, of courage, self-awareness, and vulnerability.
Yep.
You can no more directly pursue authenticity than you can directly pursue happiness or being taller.
Right. And you want to know, and like you said about people's story, right?
Yeah.
They, or I should say level of awareness and then their story. And you were saying that they have to find that. And I always say, stop running from it. Right?
Yeah.
Figure out what those gifts are, right?
Yeah.
What were the gifts that you were given through all that? I'm a big believer, struggle equals strength all day long. What were those gifts? And then how can you share those gifts in your flavor? It's that simple. It is that simple. Yeah.
It really is. If you can stay focused on what you just said, if you can stay focused on that, moving into this space, moving into the space of a speaker, an entrepreneur, anyone who's in the digital world, what will happen is you will run the risk of becoming inflexible much less, right? And you got to be nimble, you got to be flexible, you got to be quick. That's one of the beauties of being an entrepreneur versus being a corporation, right? We can zig and zag much faster. But also, when it comes to finding your story, I circle back to the 4 questions. Who are you? How did you get here? Who do you serve? Who are you? Who do you serve? How did you get here? And now I'm forgetting the 4th one now. But anyway, when you ask these questions and you can answer them well, you get to your why. Because there's a whole part of your story that doesn't support your mission, right? I could write 5 more books about my life, never tell the same story twice, and you'd think I was 6 different people, including the book that I wrote. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yep.
So I had to choose from a lifetime of experiences the stories that best said, who am I? Who do I serve? How did I get here? Oh, and the other one is, what's my message? Right?
Yep.
And so there's a craftsmanship to that. There's an artistry to that. But that's what you've got to be focused on. When you do those, when you can answer those 4 questions, you have your why. Like, it's powerful, man. It's like being able to clean the lenses off your glasses, you know? And suddenly you can see.
And you just made me think of something, man. We're talking about the whys, right? We talk about how personal it is. I highly recommend that everyone do the 7 levels deep. Have you ever done that, Manny?
Not me, no. I don't know that one.
So 7 levels deep is something that I learned from a real estate guru, Dean Graziazos. He used to have he did a lot the TV commercials, the infomercials. And he was taught it by one of his mentors. And 7 levels deep is you're asking the same question 7 times, and you're going to get to that why. And the point of this is, so when you get to 2, 3, and 1, 1, 2, and 3, you're getting from here to here. Right. So Google it, 7 levels deep, man. It's powerful.
You keep reiterating, keep asking the deeper why. 7 levels, right?
Yes, 7. You ask that. What is your why? So I want to be a millionaire. Why do you want to be a millionaire? Right. So then you bring it all the way down. I know Rosina asked about non-negotiables. So I'm a big proponent on what are your non-negotiables. I feel like if you don't have non-negotiables in your life, then again, you're a buoy in the ocean and you're letting the current dictate your direction. And a lot of times when you look at a buoy, they're not going anywhere but in a circle, right? So because you don't have non-negotiables, and again, one of my non-negotiables is the gym every morning, no matter what. When I'm traveling, no matter what, it's the gym, because that's my non-negotiable. So I believe when you can start to have non-negotiables in your life, personally and professionally, now you start to have a blueprint, right? Now you start, and doesn't mean they don't change, doesn't mean they don't evolve, but have non-negotiables in your world.
I love it. Listen, I just got the 20% charge notice on my phone, so hey, everybody who's here, reach out to Dave if you don't know him already. Say thank you. Dave, as always, brother. It's like every time we talk, man, I feel like they put 2 pieces of material together and cut from the same cloth, man. It's awesome.
Love it, brother.
Reach out to Jared Warner, or find the links in the chat about the contest. Find the links in the chat about the event itself. Check it out, you guys. It's going to be amazing. If you hung with me and Dave this whole time, this event is for you. I'm telling you, you got to be there. I want to see you there. I'm more of a hugger than a handshaker, so fair warning. If I do see you and you come up and say, I caught that live stream with you and Dave, you're getting hugged. That's what's up.
That's right. That's it, man.
Thank you guys so much. This has rocked. Frank Estrada, I didn't get to all your questions. Reach out to me, brother. I'm happy to talk to you one-on-one. Rosanna, Jen, Chris, everybody. This has been awesome.
So let's take this out Monster Motivator style, baby. You ready?
Let's do it.
We're going to do the Monster Motivator roar, and we want everyone out there to do it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Ah! Thank you, my brother.
All right, we'll talk soon, man.
Be good.
Peace.